What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
This is the OPS pregame
We are
report.
live from Spartan Arena at Homestead High School as tonight the Homestead Spartans host the Northridge Raiders in Game 2 of the Spartans regular season. Good evening. I'm Anthony Gery, joined alongside color broadcaster Noah Lancz and sideline reporters Jenna and Dahouk as we are about 6 minutes away from tip-off of tonight's matchup. Noah, how excited are you for some weekday basketball?
I'm so excited for the matchup we've got tonight. Two great teams meeting up following their first win. It should be a fun one.
It should be a fun one indeed. Let's get into the OPS pregame show, starting off with last Saturday. The Lady Spartans started off their regular season with a bang, a 75-43-point win to start off the regular season. And the Spartans really had everything working for them as they were able to play and expand on the entire court.
And Ayanna Patterson called it herself a revenge game for them. You see Allie Stevens knocking down the three, and she had a great night. She started 0 for 4, but after that was 6 for 7 and was unstoppable.
And Homestead, they really got the job done. They spread out the floor. They were able to get the three-point shot down. Allison Stevens was knocking down threes all night long. She could not miss.
No, she could not. And Ayanna Patterson was shooting well herself. She was 1 for 2 from 3, which is better than it had been last year. And she also has improved on her free throws, as you see, going 11 for 14.
The Spartans really just did a good job. And on defense, too, they got a lot of turnovers. Everyone was making the basket. Molly Stock made one there. And the offense, the defense, everything was clicking for Homestead. Some key parts were working for the Spartan offense, but one in particular, of course, was the three-point shooting. Allie Stevens led the way for the Lady Spartans, going 6 for 11 from beyond the arc.
And she was really the leader to get them going. We saw some players step up off of the bench, like Evie Bottoms, and she knocked down 2 early ones, but Stevens made the most out of them. All others contributed.
And it wasn't just the three-point shot that was clicking. Ayanna Patterson, Homestead's Miss Basketball candidate, dominated underneath the basket for the Spartans, getting to the line and knocking down 11 free throws, like you said earlier.
And she also started a little slow, but in that second half, mainly that third quarter, she played so well. Once Mackenzie Thomas came out for Carmel, they could not contain her in the paint. She's just too strong and too big. And if she's not getting scored, she's getting hacked and going to the line.
Carmel played most of the game in a defensive press, but once Homestead broke that Carmel press, the Greyhounds defense lapsed and left open some wide-open three-point shots, which Homestead knocked down, resulting in the 32-point blowout victory.
And it was really the opposite of last year. Carmel had a 34-point victory, and this one just flipped the script. The defense was so good, and led by Emma Royce and Molly Stock, a junior and a sophomore, younger players leading them, and it led to a bunch of easy, fast break points, which got them going.
The young talent was the story for Homestead, all of the younger players stepping up into their roles. That'll bring us to the first break here on the OPS pregame show. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Spartan opponent tonight, the Northridge Raiders, and later on, we'll bring you our keys to the game. You're watching.
Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to the OPS Pregame Show. I'm Anthony Gery alongside Noah Lancz, and we are live from Homestead High School for tonight's matchup between the Northridge Raider and the Homestead Spartans. And Noah, let's turn our attention to Homestead's opponent tonight. Ever since Northridge and Homestead met up in the 4A semi-state game back in 2017, these two teams have played each other early in the regular season. It's not a middle-of-the-week matchup that's easy for either team, taking about 90 minutes to get up to each other's schools. And in this short series between the two schools, it has been all Homestead.
It's really a good early season test for both of these teams, but Homestead has come out victorious the 4 times they've played in the last 4 years. The only close one was really last year, which was a 5-point game. But other than that, Homestead has really had Northridge's number in this series.
Northridge has been creeping closer and closer every single year. Last year, only a 5-point win for the Spartans. And let's take a look at this year's Northridge Raider basketball team. Like Homestead, they come into tonight's game with a 1-0 record. And when scouting Northridge in that win last week versus Lakewind, one player really stood out.
And this one player was Julia Mantilla. She had such a dominant start, not missing a single shot, not even from the free throw line. She has 17 points in total and was showing why she is the senior leader of this Northridge Raider basketball team.
Yet to miss a shot in her senior year entering this game. We'll see later tonight if she can keep that streak alive. Taking a look at your keys to the game today, Noah. First off, if the Spartans want to replicate their performance from last week, they have to shoot well from the three-point line.
Yes, they do. It's one of the best shooting performances that we've seen in a long time. They made 14 threes in that game. Stevens led them, but many others helped her out.
And Homestead, that three-point line, it was, of course, you said many others. The bench got involved. Edie Bottoms knocked down 2. Claire Landergan knocked down a couple. And for the Spartans on defense, they have to do the complete opposite. Instead of making the threes, they have to stop the threes. Because Northridge, if they get hot from the three-point line, they can be hard to stop.
It helps and hurts this Homestead team. They're so good from shooting there, but they can't guard it too well. It's just really going to be a test of who can contain the other team.
And now Northridge on offense, they have to do a good job of slowing down the pace. Homestead, you cannot let them play at their own pace. They took off against Carmel last week, playing at a faster pace.
And that's why Carmel could not keep up with this Homestead team. They tried to play up to Homestead's pace, which is so fast, and Homestead just took it away from them. In the fast break, Carmel could not keep up, and Northridge can't fall victim to that tonight.
On the defensive side for Northridge, they have to extend the defense to the three-point line. Homestead is so dominant, as you just said, from the three-point line, and they have to stop that down. They have to lock up Allison Stevens. They have to lock up Molly Stock and company.
Yes, they definitely do. And we thought Allison Stevens had been locked up in that game last week, but after going 0 for 4, making 6 after that, it shows why she's so good. She's never afraid to shoot it. And Molly Stock, we didn't see her too much last game, but she's definitely another great three-point shooter on this team.
And let's talk about this bench for the Spartans, because you can't really give them enough credit for how they played versus Carmel last week. Player after player came off the bench to help out. Evie Bottoms knocked down 2 key threes in the first half to give Homestead some momentum, get them back into the game when players like Ayanna Patterson were fouled out.
And it was Evie Bottoms along with the underclassmen who stepped up. Only 2 seniors on this team, both are starters, but Ayanna Patterson getting 2 fouls early on meant she had to sit out most of the first half. Obviously frustrating for her, but that bench came up clutch. Foul
trouble has been the key for teams facing up against Ayanna Patterson, because the best way to contain her is to not have to play against her, because she is so dominant with her size and physicality.
And that's really the only way to stop her, get her off the court. I don't know why Carmel didn't try to attack her a little more, and we'll see if Northridge tries to attack her down low. But after getting 2 early fouls, it would have made sense to try to get some more on her.
And we're going to go down to sideline reporter Jenna Lane, who's standing by with Coach Rod Parker.
Thanks, Anthony. I'm here with Coach Rod Parker. And Coach, big win last Saturday over Carmel. What do the Spartans need to do tonight to move to 2-0?
Well, I thought Saturday we did a great job competing on both ends of the floor, and I challenged the girls tonight to impress me with that same kind of energy, not only on the offensive end, but how well we played defense and made it difficult for Carmel to score. So I think tonight's really how we play the game, and, of course, we got to make some shots.
All right, thank you, and good luck. Anthony, back to you.
And Coach Parker said it himself. They have to play strong defense. It worked well against Carmel last week, and it has to work this week.
And they've just got to make their shots. We saw them do it once this year. Hopefully they can do it again tonight for the Spartans.
And we're going to go to our final break in the OPS pregame show. Stay tuned. It's Homestead versus Northridge.
What limits you to too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Homestead High School as we are getting ready for the showdown between the Northridge Raider and the Homestead Spartans. Tonight, for Northridge, their starters are
Sabrina Miller is going to be starting at one guard. At another guard, we're going to have Colleen Miller. And we've got Julia Mantilla, who came off a great game last week, not missing a single shot. 5'11 sophomore Gabriella Gates is going to try to contain Ayana Patterson down low, and Eva Fisher.
and Gabriel Gates, Julia Mantilla, two key players to watch out for Northridge. Your Homestead starters tonight are Emma Royce. Last week played an incredible defensive game, just a sophomore, young talent. Molly Stock in the guard, point guard for the Spartans tonight. She's fast, she's quick, watch out. Allie Stevens, the sharpshooter from beyond the arc. She is electric on the basketball court. Maggie Keensley, the senior, just signed to Saginaw Valley State earlier tonight. And of course, Ayana Patterson, the fourth best player in the country, UConn commit, and Homestead's starting wing. Head coach Rod Parker will be coaching them again tonight. He is in his 20th year with Homestead.
And he loves coaching here. He's definitely going to miss leaving this gym, as there's a newly gym coming to the Homestead Spartans.
That's right. If you look around the campus of Homestead, you can see the walls seem a little bit bare. The plaques of state championships of all Homestead athletics in the past have been taken down as they are being moved to the newly constructed gym that will be ready to go for next year.
And it'll definitely be fun to have a new gym. I'm sure these coaches are going to enjoy it, and these players, great new facility.
Tip-off. It's going to be Ayana Patterson going up for the jumper, and Julia Mantilla. 6'3" versus 5'11", and Ayana Patterson wins it once again. She rarely loses. Homestead starts with the ball. And a quick sloppy possession to start off for the Spartans, but they maintain possession. Last week in the first game versus the game versus Carmel, they started off getting the ball under Ayana Patterson and got a quick two, unable to get it there.
And they're trying to get it down low to her again, but a great job by Miller to step over with the help side defense and not allow Ayana Patterson to go up with it, where she's so hard to stop.
Molly Stock takes a three in and out. Homestead's three-point shooting so key. They made 14 threes last week. Best shooting night Homestead has had in a long time.
And it definitely was. We'll see if they can continue that tonight. Already missed one, and you see that they're going to be shooting a lot.
Northridge, first offensive possession. It seems like Homestead held onto the ball quite a lot to start it off. Mantilla underneath has yet to miss a shot this season. Point guard Colleen Miller. There's a shot taken and made for Northridge. Eva Fisher knocks it down to start Northridge off with 3 points.
And a great job by them. Great ball movement. They were just finding the open player, kept on looking for it, as we see Molly Stock answer back. But you see, if you can pass around this Homestead team, just be patient with no shot clock, you can find an open shot.
Molly Stock with a 3 to start it off. She's 1 for 2 already on the night. She's not afraid to shoot the ball, as well as Allie Stevens. Northridge passing the ball quite a lot, something we didn't see Carmel do as much. Wide open in the corner. Sabrina Miller, no good. Rebounded by Stock. Quick transition. Suarez takes a steps in, looks out. Homestead slows down the pace a little bit. Northridge loves playing a slower pace of basketball. Royce with the 3, knocks it down. Emma Royce. She knocks down the shot. Sophomore Homestead has 2 threes already.
And she was left wide open right there. She shot 1 3 last week and made it, and already starting off with another made 3. She's been really good, and you can see why Coach Parker likes this sophomore.
Mantilla takes a shot and misses her first shot of the season. Rebound by Patterson. She's going in a quick transition and misses the layup. 4-2. Northridge looking to cut down Homestead's lead. Swat out of bounds by Allison Stevens. The Raiders will keep the ball.
And an uncharacteristic miss there by Ayana Patterson. Whenever she gets it down low, she's driving to the basket. You don't see her miss too often, but she's already missed 2 short ones tonight.
Ayana Patterson earlier today signed for with UConn. Of course, obviously a huge deal. UConn is the premier team in all of women's college basketball. Northridge taking their time on offense. Not able to get any shots. This Homestead defense is so efficient. They force a lot of turnovers to make up for some of their offensive turnovers that they have, which is quite a few. 3 taken, no good, and it's rebounded by the sophomore Royst. Only 5'8", but able to get that rebound. Stock dishes it inside to Patterson. She goes up for a shot and is fouled. She goes to the line often, and there she goes again.
And on that possession, there were 3 Raiders all around her. Couldn't tell if she's trying to go up with it or find an open player there, as Stevens and Stock were wide open. But either way, going to the line. We saw her have a great performance last week.
Patterson makes the first shot. She was 11 for 14, which is a lot better than she was last year. Had a lot of trouble at the free throw line last year, only shooting 60%, but answered back with a lot of positives in Game 1 versus Carmel.
And you can definitely tell it's something that she was working on in the offseason. We saw her make a 3 also last week, which we didn't see too often last year. And you can tell that jump shot, she's trying to add to her game. If she adds that, she's going to become unstoppable.
Homestead already up 5 points. Northridge, they have to get some offense going to stay in it. Can't let Homestead get a big lead. As you saw last week with Carmel, they got a large lead and took off with this. Molly Stock with a steal. She's one of those defensive players that you have to watch out for. Homestead opening up the pace. Deep shot, Allison Stevens from 25 feet out.
And that 3 was deep. That was way behind the line, and you see why this Homestead team is so good. They've already hit 3 threes early on and now getting a second steal and just trying to play fast pace.
Molly Stock got another steal, and once again, the clock repeats itself. Ayana Patterson back to the free throw line.
And whenever this Homestead team is getting a steal, they're going for those fast break points. We've seen Patterson go to the line 2 possessions out of the last 3 now. But when Northridge has had the ball, they've really been slowing it down, which is what they need to try to do. We saw them get a few open shots, open 3-point shots. They just weren't able to connect.
That free throw just short off the front of the rim. Second free throw for Patterson. Rattles in. Homestead with a 9-point lead already to start the game.
And if you're Northridge, this is a huge possession right here. Already getting out of hand a little bit. You don't want it to get to double digits. You need to set up your offense and try to get into a rhythm.
And another steal, that one by Royst. And just like that, a turnover as Molly Stock tries to save the ball. Emma Royst, she had 2 steals last week, already with 1 tonight. Molly Stock already with 2 steals tonight. You can tell this Homestead defense is ready to play.
Yeah, she was just trying to push the pace a little too much there. She had Stevens running down the court, but overpassed it to her.
Northridge trying to hold on to the basketball and get a shot. A little bit tricky, and that one's going to go out on Northridge. Another turnover for the Raiders. Homestead keeps getting their way on the defensive side.
Yeah, they're replicating what they did last week. They've only allowed 3 points through the first 4 minutes right now, and they've been so dominant on the defensive side just to start this game.
And the difference between this week and last week is that they've had the scoring to cap it off as a 3-pointer taken. No good, but rebounded by Patterson. She gets her own rebound and puts it in. That is why Ayanna Patterson is so good. Takes her own rebound and gets 2 points.
We see her do that so often. If she misses it, a lot of times she comes up with it herself.
Another steal for the Spartans. Patterson takes it herself and lays it in. She sneakily already has 7 points, and Northridge is forced to call a timeout.
Great job by this Homestead defense leading to their offense. We're seeing them get a lot of transition points as you see Ayanna Patterson just driving down the lane. Too hard to contain and gets it to drop off the glass and in. Great job by this Homestead team on the offensive and defensive side so far.
Just look at Ayanna Patterson's physicality. Of course, she's 6'3", has the wingspan of 6'6" or more, and has hops to cap it off. She can jump super high. She can just be so physical and is impossible to guard.
And we might see the Northridge Raiders try to bring in someone taller. The tallest player they have listed on their roster is a sophomore 6'3", Kaylee DeHaven. But in the game to start, they only had 5'11" players as their tallest. So we'll see if they bring in somebody else to try to contain Patterson.
Kaylee DeHaven off on the sideline with a brace wrapped around her knee. Of course, Coach Springer would love to see her coming into the game to guard Patterson, hope to get some height to match up against the UConn commit. However, we'll see what his play calling is. There's not really much you can do to guard this Homestead squad.
No, there really isn't, because when you try to triple or double Patterson down low, she can just kick it out. We've already seen them hit 3 threes in this game. One from Stevens from way out, one from Royce, and one from Stock. And it's just showing why their offense works so well.
Molly Stock comes out of the game and is replaced by a girl who knocked down 2 huge threes last time, Evie Bottoms.
And she was really the one that got this Homestead offense going. They couldn't really get anything to drop from deep, and she came in, knocked 2 quick threes, and after that, the Homestead Spartans offense never looked back.
A quick look underneath for Northridge, and they're able to get some points on the board. Julia Mantilla, we've heard her named a couple times in the pregame show. She gets 2 points.
And she finally gets on the board. Didn't miss last week, but she missed her first shot this game. But they're going to definitely look to her as she's their leading scorer this year.
Bottoms trapped, hands it off to Royst as emergency and resets at the top. Homestead wants to play fast pace. It's how they play best. Of course, Northridge loves to slow down the basketball as well. Bottoms, beautiful pass inside to Patterson. She can't put it in. Own rebound. Ayanna Patterson lays it in. And it looks like there might be an injury, possibly an elbow to the face.
And that was a huge board, as you see right there. Patterson just rips it away, probably hit her in the face while doing so. But it's just really hard when you're down low with Patterson. She's going to get anything that is near her.
And you can't really call a foul on that. It was not an intentional play going for the ball. Ayanna Patterson already with 9 points tonight. Here, Coach Gino from UConn. You've got to be pretty excited watching the success play out in front of his eyes.
Yes, you definitely do. She was one of 2 UConn commits, the other one being the 5th best player in the country. But she had 9 points last week against Carmel in the first half, and she's already matched that in the first quarter.
Northridge able to find an opening with Eva Fisher. She has 6 points already tonight, pretty quiet. And Northridge down only 10 as Allie Stevens takes a check. Allie Stevens has made 8 straight 3-pointers over the course of 2 games. She doesn't know how to miss.
And that was another deep 3. She's not scared to shoot it from anywhere in the gym. And she really has no reason to be scared. She can knock it down from anywhere.
A 3 taken, no good for Northridge. Homestead gets the rebound and a miscommunication between Bottoms and Landergan. Look at Allie Stevens from very deep, knocks it down, rattles in off the rim. She has been playing at an elite level in these first 2 games.
Yes, she has been, and we've seen Northridge try to go to somewhat of a zone, and both times Stevens has just found the break in between it and hit down a 3.
Shot taken by Northridge and rebounded by guess who, Ayanna Patterson. She is controlling this game physically right now. 5 rebounds already on the night. Allie Stevens, another 3-point shot and misses for the first time in 8 attempts.
Her streak finally comes to an end, but she's not going to stop shooting as Homestead retains the possession. We'll see what they try to do here on the out-of-bounds play. Sometimes they've been trying to get it down low to Patterson.
Landergan gets a shot, doesn't go. Sydney Freem comes into the game, tries to get the rebound. And the sideline ref is going to rule it to stay with Homestead. Spartans will get another chance to reset and get some points.
And that's off of 2 straight misses that Homestead's going to get the ball back. Northridge just unable to get the rebound.
No good for Landergan again, but rebounded by Patterson. Rebounded again by Patterson. Missed. Rebounded almost again by Patterson. Northridge finally gets one away from the 6'3" wing. Open in the corner. 3-pointer for Northridge. No good. And the rebound by Evie Bottoms. 1-on-1. And they're going to call a charge on Ayanna Patterson. What a job by Morgan Cross to take the hit.
She just moved her feet great there, getting in front of Patterson. And that's where Patterson needs to try to be a little bit better, not get charging fouls when she's driving in. And if she picks up a few other ones, it might become a problem, as that's what we saw last week happen, and she didn't play too much of the first half.
And this is Northridge's time to shine. Ayanna Patterson is off the floor. 1 foul already under her belt. Allie Stevens also off the floor. You have Homestead's 2 biggest shooting attackers off. This is when you step up. This is when you play hard defense and you score some points.
And this is a lot of that bench squad that we saw last game coming really well. Right now they only have 1 starter in Molly Stock, and they've got 4 juniors, 1 sophomore, so younger lineup in, but we've seen them play really well together.
See, Mantilla tries to get a shot, misses. She already has 2 misses tonight, had 0 in the first game. Homestead might try to wait till the end of the quarter to get 1 shot off. Look to get 2 or 3 more. Adams trapped, can't get the ball out, gets it out, and that is the end of the quarter. What a defensive stand by Northridge to end it. Homestead leads 21-8, but Northridge hanging in there.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena, and we're going to send it down to sideline reporter Nada Dahouk.
Earlier tonight, the 2 senior girl basketball players signed on to their future in basketball. Ayanna Patterson signed on to UConn, which she committed to last year, and Maggie Keensley signed on to Saginaw Valley State. Good luck to both of them this season and as they continue their career in the future. Anthony?
Thank you, Nada. And we've talked about it earlier in the show. Nada just said it there down from the floor. Ayanna Patterson and Maggie Keensley signing tonight. Patterson to UConn, Keensley to Saginaw Valley State.
And they're the only 2 starters on this team, 2 of the leaders. So it'll be interesting to see how they do next year. Obviously, Ayanna being the best player.
Royce gets physical, unable to strip the ball away. Northridge maintains possession. They're trying to reduce those turnovers as they already have 6 on the night. Moving the ball around the key, trying to get a look inside. Unable to do anything, and it's going to be Tame Bayless gets the 2 points for Northridge. Watch out, the Raiders are slowly coming back into this one.
And that possession right there is how we saw them come into this game, passing the ball really well, letting everyone touch it, and just waiting to get an open shot.
Keensley down low, gets it to Royce, and she puts in the layup. Emma Royce with 5 points on the night, not only a star defensively, but also offensively as well.
She could really be a big impact player for this team. Another player stepping up on the offensive side, getting some more points. She had 7 in the first game, already 5, just barely over a quarter. And as you mentioned, she's so good on defense. We saw her dive for a ball a little bit earlier. She's already got a few steals in this one. And she's just really good for only being a sophomore and not having too much experience.
The Spartan defense has focused on turnovers as the offense just throws a turnover back to the Raiders. Defense just loves forcing these turnovers. They did it a lot last year and are trying to do it again this year as the layup doesn't go in, and the rebound being fought for. Gabriel Gates gains it back, and that's tipped out of bounds by Allison Stevens. These 2 teams are going head-to-head right now.
Yes, they are. It's a battle down low to get all these boards. We've seen Patterson mainly be really dominant on the offensive side. She's had 7 boards in this game already just after a quarter. And this Northridge team now getting on the offensive boards themselves, trying to get some second chance points.
You can tell these Raiders are staying feisty. They don't want to get out of this game. They're playing physical ball. They're stopping turnovers as Royce bites a little bit too hard, and there is another turnover for Northridge, forced by the Homestead defense.
And right now, if nothing else changes, the Northridge coach, Springer, is going to go into the locker room talking about these turnovers. They need to limit them. They're already at 8 in this game, and we're barely over a quarter. That's just not acceptable if you want to win the game against the number 6 team in the state.
Homestead, another turnover, and wide open. Julia Mantilla unable to knock the shot down, is stocked on the fast break to Royce and mishandled. Another turnover for Homestead.
It's really a sloppy game right now. Neither team getting into offense, setting up plays because of all these turnovers and a lot of fast break opportunities. But these teams just need to slow it down. We've seen Northridge look a little bit better recently when they've been able to run some plays, run through their full offense. But this Homestead team, we haven't seen them run through their full offense in a little bit.
The last 5 plays by both teams has ended in turnovers, almost 6. Is now a free shot for Gates, banked in off the glass. Northridge cuts the Homestead's lead down to 10.
And that's one interesting way to get it done. Apparently the bank is open at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night, but either way, it's going to cut the lead down to only 10.
Allison Stevens drives inside and picks up the foul. She's going to head to the line.
This will definitely be good for her if she can see the ball go through the basket a few more times. We saw her hit her first 2 threes, but she hasn't made one since then. She can see the ball go through on these free throws. It can give her some more confidence for this game.
Allie Stevens is more than just a sharpshooter from beyond the arc. People forget she's 5'11" and very, very physical. She can drive the basketball underneath. Not the quickest on the Homestead squad, but definitely a threat in all forms on offense.
Yes, she definitely is. When she drives, she also gets a lot of fouls called. And on the defensive side, she had 6 rebounds last game, which is the same amount as Ayana Patterson. So that just shows that her size also helps her.
Allison Stevens already with 8 points on the night, 2 threes, 2 free throws, as Molly Stock strips the ball away and it goes out off her fingertips. Stock and Royce, 2 players that are not afraid to attack the basketball, and it really disrupts all offenses.
And they're jumping in every passing lane they can, trying to get a steal whenever they can. You definitely think that that's what Coach Parker is telling them to do with how aggressive they've been. And they've been able to do it really well, getting a lot of steals and turnovers forced.
Northridge, they want to get Mantillo going. Maggie Keensley has done a really good job of guarding her when they've been in man coverage. Northridge underneath, and it's going to be, well, it looks like a travel on Northridge. That is another turnover for the Raiders.
And still really not able to get anything going. They got a 3 a little bit ago, but this defense has been really good.
8 turnovers for Northridge, 7 for Homestead. A sloppy game so far. Patterson dribbling around on the outside, gets trapped. Kingsley escapes. Royce open on the opposite side, tries to lay it up underneath, rebounded by Stevens. It's tipped around and it's rebounded by Patterson, and it's going to be a travel. Hectic basketball underneath the hoop.
It's getting crazy down there. You saw Stevens come up with the board and then almost get it to go back in, and Patterson again attacking the offensive glass, but unable to get anything going.
The second quarter has just been pretty stale for both teams, and it's another turnover for Northridge. They now have 9. Both teams cannot get control of the basket. Both head coaches, Coach Springer, Coach Parker, definitely are going to be talking about that turnover margin.
Yeah, they definitely will. And both teams need to slow it down a little bit. These turnovers have been causing them to go into fast-paced offenses, and when they've slowed it down, it's been a little bit better.
You can tell Allison Stevens is out of it a little bit. She misses her second three-pointer in a row, which doesn't sound a lot, but when you're talking about Allie Stevens, it certainly is.
But last week she missed 4 in a row, and then after that she made 6 of 7. So she showed that she can be really hot.
How about Julia Mantilla driving underneath the basket and gets the and one?
And she's not had a great night tonight, especially following last week, scoring 17 points and not missing a single shot. That's not been the story tonight. That's her 4th point, trying to get it 5, and she'll see if that can get her going.
Coach Parker calls a much-needed timeout for Homestead. They got to talk over these turnovers because they have not gotten on the board in over 3 minutes.
Yeah, they've definitely been slowing down on offense, but their defense has been so good that on the scoreboard you can't really tell. It's still been a 10-point margin. It hasn't really moved up or down from that too much, and we'll see if they can get it going.
Whereas the Homestead offense doesn't look very crisp right now. You have to get it off to their defense. Same going for Northridge. Neither offense is really doing anything, but each defense has done an incredible job of trapping the basketball. Both teams playing in zone coverage, trapping the corners, trapping outside the arc just like they need to.
Northridge ending the first quarter had a great defensive possession. Hillary Adams was just trapped and couldn't get it anywhere, and the shot clock ended up running down to 0. And that is probably what got them going in this second quarter and has been leading them to not play too poorly on defense.
Mantilla knocks down the free throw, bringing her total up to 6 points on the night. Homestead picking up the pace, finds a wide open Molly Stock. She knocks it down. Molly Stock for 3.
That gets her to 6 points now, 2 threes, and we're seeing the threes be a big factor of this game. It's really been the difference so far, and her along with Stevens getting 4 threes combined, Royce also, and that has not been the case for Northridge.
Homestead already attempted 10 3-pointers. This is going to be number 11, Emma Royce, no good. And Northridge with the rebound. Looking to cut into the Homestead lead again, and it's going to be a foul on Molly Stock. To the line is Colleen Miller.
Another time there, Stock trying to get a steal, as you see her knock down the 3 right there. And she's just being really aggressive on defense and offense, shooting when she's open and trying to get a steal when she can.
In correction, that's Eva Fisher heading to the line, knocking down the free throw. Now Kaylee DeHaven comes into the game for Northridge. That is the 6'3" sophomore that we were talking about earlier to guard Ayana Patterson. Those two, a lot of height combined between the two of them.
And we see them matching up to start down low. Now she's switched off of them, but definitely the game plan for Springer.
How about the hot hand for Molly Stock? 3 for 4 from 3 tonight, 9 points for Stock.
And her and Stevens are just so good. Stevens a season ago shot 35% from 3, and Stock shot 40%. Those two combined are a great duo as juniors.
And Evie Bottoms goes out of bounds. Look at Molly Stock. How do you let her get that wide open when she's open like that? she's going to let it hit nothing but net.
And really anyone on this team for Homestead can shoot when they're wide open, especially that open. It's really hard to explain how you let someone of her caliber of shooting get so wide open.
We'll see if Northridge tries to use the height of DeHaven underneath the basket. Northridge has to play a little bit more physical. Of course, they've played really physical on defense and on offense as well. They have to set some screens, get this Homestead going, because right now, Homestead is able to do way too much, and a layup. Good, avoids the Patterson block. Eva Fisher knocks it down. She has 10 points for Northridge.
And that just looked like it was going to be a highlight reel for Patterson, trying to catch up after the screen and get a big block really close to it.
And that's going to be a foul on Northridge as Evie Bottoms was trapped trying to get the ball out. They're going to say Julia Mantilla pushed her.
Over there, Northridge bench is not happy at all. They thought it was all clean, and it might have been, but the refs did not see it that way.
Right in front of the bench's face. But the zebra stripes call a penalty. Keensley to inbound. A little bit of confusion. Ref telling her to stand a little bit closer. Play call, and Stock is at the top of the key. Homestead looking fast-paced already, setting screens left and right. Bottoms drives inside, layup, a highlight reel dribble for Evie Bottoms, and she has 2 points.
What a great drive by the hoop there by Evie Bottoms. She had Patterson and Stock around her, two starters, two people who would get more attention, and that's exactly what happened, but she just evades everyone that's coming at her and gets the easy two.
Evie Bottoms taking advantage of the name, and that's going to be Homestead ball, another turnover. Look at this, one cross, avoids the trip, and takes the layup with contact. Should have been a foul. Nevertheless, 2 points for Bottoms.
And she's one of those bench players that's been really good this year. She's now up to 5 points in this game, and we'll see how those other bench players, Claire Landrigan and Hillary Adams, play a role. We've seen them on the defensive side, not so much offensive, but they haven't had too much time in the game.
Ball slips through Patterson's hands. She saves it. Keensley takes a drive inside. They're going to call a foul on Maggie Keensley. Northridge ball. But guess what? That is another Spartan turnover.
Really sloppy on both sides as both teams' turnovers amounts are really getting up. Now both double digits at 10 right now, and neither coach can be happy with that. Homestead obviously still has a 13-point lead, which Coach Parker's going to be happy about, but it could be a lot more without those turnovers.
And another turnover. Maggie Keensley on the fast break layup. Easy 2 points for Maggie Keensley, the senior, her first points of the night.
Just stepping right in that passing lane and getting the easy 2 points, something Coach Parker loves to see. This defense is playing really well, being aggressive on all cylinders.
Quick jump shot. No good. Keensley on the rebound. And we'll see if they try to hold the shot or run it fast. Looks like they're going fast inside to Patterson. Molly Stock to Ayana Patterson for 2 points. Homestead up to 17 points, their largest lead of the night.
And that was the first time we've seen Patterson score this quarter. She had 9 in the first and only 2 now in this one. We haven't seen them try to get it down low to her too much as she's been doubled a lot of the time. But off of those misses, she's been able to get a lot of opportunities, as you just saw her get the easy 2 down low.
How about that spin move by Ayana Patterson getting past Madison Gorbel?
And Coach Parker bringing in Emma Royce for this last possession instead of Ayana Patterson, a really good defensive player. And Ayana Patterson, obviously the best blocker in school history, but taking it.
Eva Fisher for 3 points. Homestead down to 2 seconds. Allison Stevens for 3 to end the half. Homestead leads 40-23.
What a great way to end it there. You gotta love going into the locker room like that, making her third 3. She made her first 2, then missed 2, and able to connect there.
And we're going to send it down to sideline reporter Jenna Lane, who's with Coach Rod Parker.
Thanks, Anthony. I'm here with Coach Rob Parker. And Coach, a fast start in that first quarter. You are up by 17 points. How would you assess your team's play in the first half?
You know, I thought we played a very good first quarter. We ran well. We moved the ball. We got Jan involved early. And then some stagnant a little bit in the second quarter, but we finished strong. So we got it back to 17, and we'll see what this team's made of. We come out and have a real strong third quarter.
Thank you. Anthony, back to you.
Thank you, Jenna. And Coach Parker said it himself. They had a strong first quarter, and then were a little bit stagnant in the second quarter. Homestead leads 17 at the end of one half.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10345 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marcos specializes in pizza, subs, and more. Order online at marcos.com or by phone at 625-6800. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the .91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead Media's athletics coverage.
Welcome back to Spartan Arena as Homestead caps off the first half with a 3-point buzzer beater to take a 40-23 lead. And how about Homestead getting it together in those final minutes of the second quarter after a sloppy start to it? They really found themselves, and now they're sitting here with a large lead.
And like Coach Parker said, they were really stagnant to start it, but they finished so well, getting the lead back out to 17. At one point, it was knocked down to 8, and they finished well. Great way to go into the locker room.
Homestead really figuring it out. Coach Parker, he said it himself. They played a really good first quarter, and that can be seen through anything. They knocked down 3 straight three-pointers. Of course, the three-point game is huge, as they've made countless numbers of threes tonight. And then in the second quarter, things slowed down a little bit. They got sloppy. They weren't able to do as much. Now we're going to look at some SAC headlines, starting with Ayanna Patterson and Maggie Kingsley signing for college. Earlier this evening, they both signed. We talked about it earlier. Sideline reporter Nada Dahouk gave us that update. Big accomplishments for both of them.
Yes, it is. Saginaw Valley State up in northern Michigan, a great athletic program that Kingsley is at. And for UConn to get Ayanna Patterson, number 4 player, they also got the number 5 player. They were the only players to go to UConn in the top 100, but 2 of the best.
And with the first week of play in the books, the SAC has combined for a record of 9-6 with 5 teams remaining undefeated. The conference season starts tomorrow with 8 of the 10 teams playing Thursday and Saturday.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how the season shapes up. Those early games against some of the bigger teams, like we saw Homestead play against Carmel, get a big win. So that's definitely going to intimidate some of the SAC teams. And we saw Northrop come out really well with the Jackson sisters. It'll be fun this season.
Northrop, Snyder, Carroll, Southside, all ranked in the top 20 to start the preseason poll. Of course, Homestead in there as well, atop all of them. It is going to be a fun run for the SAC this year. A very contentious run. There's 5 teams that could really take it.
Yeah, we've got some great teams, some great players, and we're going to have a lot of fun matchups here and away. It's just going to be all around a great season.
And Monday marked the first day of boys basketball. Their season opening up across the state in Indiana. Teams will get 2 weeks of tryouts, practice, and conditioning before the first games will be played on Monday, November 22nd.
It's definitely going to be fun to have them back. The girls obviously have already tipped off, but we've got some great players in the SAC and all around Indiana. Here at Homestead, we've got Fletcher Lawyer going to Purdue. Up at Northside, Bronte Johnson, a great player. And then also around the state, Jalen Washington, who committed to UNC from Gery, another great player.
Jalen Washington, Fletcher Lawyer, 2 of the most contentious players for Mr. Basketball. Fletcher Lawyer here at Homestead is the leading candidate in all of the state. Of course, we have Ayanna Patterson, who's the leading candidate for the girls' side. It's pretty incredible here at Homestead, seeing that they might have the best boys basketball player and the best girls basketball player in the state.
And really some great athletes coming through the senior class. We've had Amelia White sign to Penn State. She's one of the top soccer players. Maddie DeBeja to Iowa. It's crazy to see all these great players coming through this 22 Homestead Spartans class.
A lot of individual success here at Homestead. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, it is going to be the second half of play.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Welcome back to Homestead High School as more fans are trickling in from the nearby NHS ceremony. Over this halftime, more and more students have been trickling in to cheer on the Homestead Spartans.
And definitely a team you want to watch this year. They're ranked 6th in Indiana, and they had a great performance against another top 10 team last week against Carmel, one of the best teams in the state, and it's must-see basketball.
You can see the student section for Homestead is coming. You get a lot of students coming in, suits and ties from the NHS ceremony nearby. Football players, a lot of support for this high school basketball team as they are ranked number 6 in the state, and they certainly are a treat to watch.
And it's really a great crowd for Wednesday night. We saw a lot come out for the weekend game, but school night, it's late, coming out to support.
This Homestead High School is a big basketball school. A lot of basketball success in the last 10 years. 2 state championships last year, a boys basketball team that finished with an undefeated record. and you can tell that it's successful when you see the fans loving it. They love this team. They love being at these games. They love jamming out to the music. It's a great atmosphere in Spartan Arena.
It really is. You see Des Smith, the running back for Homestead, getting into it right there. And last year, obviously an unfortunate end against Carmel, went undefeated. We're ranked nationally. So Luke Goody scored his first points for Illinois last night, knocking down a 3, going 2 for 4. And it'll be fun to see some players from around here play in the NCAA, potentially make it to the NBA.
Not enough can be said about the success of this Homestead franchise, you could say, with all the success they've had. Caleb Swanigan a couple years back, Mr. Basketball for Homestead when they won the state championship. And Hope Fletcher Lawyer, leading Mr. Basketball candidate, looks to do the same this year. For now, it's girls basketball, and we are starting the second half has begun. All-Stars back on the court as Molly Stock takes a 3, doesn't go, and it's rebounded by Ayanna Patterson as she lays it in. Ayanna Patterson has had a night.
Molly Stock coming out firing right out of the half, but we're seeing Patterson get back to what she did in that first quarter, get those misses, and get easy 2 points down low.
Ayanna Patterson with 34 points as a wide-open three-pointer. No good as she goes up for that rebound. Can't get it, and it's going to be a Homestead ball.
Not often you don't see Patterson come down with a rebound as we look at that offensive possession where she got the rebound. Just too strong down low, too hard to stop her.
Ayanna Patterson, 13 points, 9 rebounds, just 1 rebound away from a double-double. That phrase is not new to her. She had many, 5 last year. Allison Stevens drives inside, uses her size to get 2 points. Homestead leads by 19. Northridge playing cautious basketball, slowing down the tempo, swinging the ball around, a lot of passing. It's an open lane, drives inside, lays it up, and that's going to be a foul on Allison Stevens.
That's going to be her second now for Stevens. And we'll see, as you see her getting that jump shot to go. We'll see if any of these players get in real foul trouble. Patterson did last week, but nobody else really did against Carmel. And no one really has tonight. Picking up your second foul to start a third quarter is not bad at all.
That free throw is a no-go for Colleen Miller. Homestead, they've really developed in these first 2 games a big 3 on offense. Molly Stock, Allie Stevens, and Ayanna Patterson. As the next free throw doesn't go, offensive rebound for Northridge. Those 3 have done a stellar job on offense, and then the defense as well. Emma Royce, Ayanna Patterson again, and Molly Stock again. Those 3 have done their part. Layup inside, good for Julia Mantilla. She's slowly got a little bit of steam behind her.
And so far it had been Eva Fisher. She has 13 points on the night, but Mantilla getting her 7th right there. And Fisher only 4 points in that first game, stepping up for Northridge tonight, but they're still down 19.
So Eva Fisher bring the ball up the court. She has tried to direct this offense and take shots when she can, but for the most part of the game, she's been guarded by Ayanna Patterson. Homestead's in some man defense right now. Couple subs waiting along the bench to be put in. Pass, open shot, drives inside, and it's good. Eva Fisher, 15 points tonight.
And she's really been the one bright side of this offense, the only one to find her tempo and get shots to fall. And for their starters, they haven't really had anyone else score. Colleen Miller hasn't had anything to get to drop. Morgan Cross hasn't either.
Look at Eva Fisher driving inside, just takes the jump shot with ease, makes it look easy. 15 points tonight. Kind of a dark horse coming in this game. 4 points in game 1 versus Lakeland, not really on our radar, but she showed up tonight.
And she shot 20% that game, 0 for 4 from 3, definitely flipping the script tonight. And we'll see if that is going to give her some more confidence for the rest of the season.
Fisher dices up Ayanna Patterson. Can't get any points out of it. It's going to be a turnover taken by Claire Landergan, and she lays it in for 2 points. The crowd claps in approval.
A great heads-up play there by Landergan, seeing the open court, ball just placed basically in front of her in an easy 2 points and in transition.
Very heads-up play by the sophomore as she takes on Fisher down low, keeps her from getting a shot, and it's rebounded by Ayanna Patterson. Her 10th rebound, and she has a double-double, adds some points to the burger. What a play, what a game for Ayanna Patterson.
And last year, she averaged a double-double, 21 points a game and nearly 11 rebounds. And tonight, she's looking like she's on pace to have more than that.
Julia Mantilla gets 2 points, her total up to 9. She's slowly creeping up after a slow start, getting to her 17 points she had last game. Homestead so far controlling this one offensively. That ball off of Patterson's foot. It's going to be an over and back Northridge ball. Look at Ayanna Patterson, stutter step, 1-2 Euro step, tosses it in. Unbelievable.
And we're definitely seeing it a lot more this year. Patterson bring up the ball herself, and most of the time she's just driven right to the hoop and been really effective when doing so.
Down low to Mantilla. She makes a step, and it's going to be a travel. One step too many. Her foot was sliding. Homestead ball.
Really a rough game for her after not missing a single shot last week. She's at 9 right now, but obviously not the shooting performance she wanted.
Sydney Freem into the game for Hillary Adams. Adams had 3 points last week on a three-pointer.
And right there, Claire Landrigan brought up the ball. And we've talked about Emma Royce or Molly Stock bringing the ball up, being that point guard. Both of them were in the game, but interesting to see Claire Landrigan bring it up.
Claire Landrigan gets the ball taken away from her by Eva Fisher, who takes the foul on the shot. That one's going to be on Emma Royce. Royce can't believe it.
Very frustrated right there, talking to the ref right away on that one. She didn't think she got any contact to the hand, but Fisher going back to the line to try to get her total up to 17.
And they're actually going to call that foul on Molly Stock on the reach. First free throw good for Eva Fisher. The reach does make sense. You saw Stock take a whack at the ball after it was stolen away from Landrigan. Fisher rattles in the second one. Looked like it was going to be a miss. Gravity said otherwise. Molly Stock brings the ball up the court, pushing the tempo a little bit. Back to Stock, 3, no good. Rebounded by Freem. Royce outside. Stock took a look and turns the ball over. Homestead with their 14th turnover on the night. Inside, and it's going to be swatted out by Ayanna Patterson. Her size, her physicality, and now another block.
Great job right there by Sydney Freem to just not allow Fisher to go up with it, and then Patterson coming in, blaze of speed, and trying to get the block.
Sydney Freem is someone that can help out Ayanna Patterson. She has a lot of size, standing at 5'9", 5'10" for the Spartans. Northridge swinging the ball, looking to get an open shot. They need to start scoring as that ball stolen away by Ayanna Patterson. Driving to the basket, and no shot foul called. It's going to stick with the Spartans.
And both these teams, really a sloppy game for them, as that brings Northridge up to 12 turnovers, only their second of this half and quarter. We saw 10 in the first half, so definitely improvement so far, but still, you can't have 12 turnovers in a game.
Claire Landerking comes back in for Molly Stock, and that one's almost a turnover. But stepping out of bounds is Tame Bayless.
Just didn't really look like where she knew where she was on the court, catching it and going right out of bounds. But still a great job to try to jump in the passing lane. A bad job by the inbounder for Homestead.
Landergan inbounding again, another unclean ball, and they get it out to safety. Landergan looking to reset a play. Keensley had an open shot, doesn't take it. It's going to be a travel on Maggie Keensley. Mistake by the senior, and another turnover for Homestead.
And this team coming into this half came out firing, playing really well, extending that lead at one point is at 21. Now it's back to 17. Neither team has really been able to get anything going. It's kind of the opposite the second quarter for the Spartans, where they started slow and then got going, and now they started well, and now they haven't been able to get anything going.
What a reaching effort by Emma Royce to tip that ball out of bounds. She is such a great defender, and that's why she earned that starting role as the number 5 on Homestead.
Her alongside Molly Stock have been great. We didn't know who that 5th starter was going to be. We knew the 4 returning starters, Keensley, Patterson, Stock, and Stevens. And Royce has definitely stepped into that role being the 5th starter.
You can tell she's gotten a lot of playing time. Normally the subs are coming in for Molly Stock, Allie Stevens, Maggie Keensley. Royce continues to stay on the floor a lot of the time. You can tell Coach Parker really puts a lot of trust in her as she is such a defensive talent. And a ball rolls in for Northridge. Their lead is down. Homestead's lead down to only 15 points. Raiders are coming back. Homestead looking to get Molly Stock back into the game. She's standing over by the check-in desk. Allie Stevens drives inside. The ball doesn't stay in, and it's rebounded by Northridge. Looking to make a run down. Doesn't have the shot. Drives inside. Open in the corner. Mantilla knocks down the three-pointer in a timeout. Taken by Homestead. Mantilla puts a statement in the comeback.
And right now, this Northridge team is firing on all cylinders as we see Mantilla knock down the corner 3, and they're really looking good. The cannot be said for Homestead as they are not looking great on offense, really stagnant right now, and that lead is just getting broken into more and more.
Coach Parker calling a much-needed timeout. Northridge coming back in this game. Their deficit was 21 points. Now it is only 12. Incredible performance by the Raiders, and they are knocking on the door of coming back. Still 2 minutes left to play, and then 12 in the other quarter.
Yes, they still have a lot of time left in this one for a comeback. And right now, if they just keep on playing how they have been, there's definitely a chance of it. As you see Coach Parker bring back in the starters now, wanting to get that lead back up. 12 is getting a little too close for comfort.
A little bit too close to comfort, and these starters rolled in the first quarter. They will get everything going. And unlike last game, the bench really hasn't stepped up as much as Coach Parker would want. You can tell by the 14 turnovers for Homestead not being where they want, a lot of them because of the players coming in off the bench. But now the starters back in for both squads to make a difference. Stock to be the point guard. We've talked a lot about who the point guard was going to be. We've seen Landergan play the point, but Stock being the main girl. Dips inside to Patterson. Spin move! Ayana Patterson. So talented, so quick, so unpredictable. 17 points.
And from the start of that possession, you saw her trying to get the ball. She was just trying to get inside position, and she eventually did. And when she got the ball, great spin move to get the easy 2.
Homestead needs their defense to be what they were against Carmel. Already allowing just about as many points. That's going to be another Northridge turnover, their 13th on the night. Look at this move by Ayana Patterson. Spin move, completely fools Madison Gorbel, lays it in.
And a 6-foot defender on her. Senior definitely has some experience, but anyone against Ayana Patterson is going to have a hard time.
They're going to call an off-the-ball penalty on Colleen Miller. Now Patterson to inbound the ball. A little bit strange seeing Patterson inbound the ball. She's the tallest, easiest to get the ball to. Nevertheless, inbounds it to Keensley. And sloppy on the transition from Keensley to Patterson. This ball is going back in the hands of Northridge.
And the one word that can really be able to describe this game is turnovers. 15 now for Homestead and 13 for Northridge. Neither coach can be happy with that, especially for Northridge. They're down 14 right now. Obviously, Coach Parker hopes that they have such a big lead, but still can't be happy with 15 turnovers, not even through 3 quarters.
Julia Mantilla with the 2, cutting Homestead's lead back down to 12. Inside to Patterson. She lays it up and misses. Rebounded by Mantilla, a chance to get some more points before the end of the third quarter. Fake shot, pump fake, outside to Mantilla, open 3, knocks it down, Julia Mantilla, unbelievable. Northridge is within 9.
Look out, this game is getting close, and Mantilla has caught fire. She's at 17 points now, the same amount as she had last week, and she's playing really well this half.
And a double dribble by Allison Stevens. Look at this shot by Mantilla, left with too much space, a knuckleball and nothing but net. And now Northridge with the ball. Only 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter and a chance to strike. They're going to hold the ball, get the last shot of the quarter, hope to get within 2 possessions. Timeout taken by Northridge. Probably want to set up a play before getting to the end of the quarter.
And right there, Northridge sideline looked really frustrated, especially their head coach. After that, he wanted a play to be run and kicked a bench while doing it.
Northridge discussing the play in the huddle. Expected to be a 3-point shot. I don't see why not, why you wouldn't go for 3 points, cut the lead down to 2 possessions. You make it, the leads within 2 possessions. Homestead goes into the end of the quarter nervous, kind of scared because this Northridge team has made a run. If you miss the 3, it's whatever. You at least took the shot.
Yes, they definitely need to take a 3 here and try to cut it down to 2 possessions. I think that'll just make Homestead have that much more nerves going into the final quarter. And they had a 21-point lead. They got a little bit lax going in to the second half of this third quarter. And because of that, it's only a 9-point game.
And we'll see how Homestead and Northridge set up. It looks like Northridge putting a couple inside the lane. Homestead in man coverage. Each person with a man. Watch Royce protect the wing. Stock outside as well. Clock ticking down. Shot put up, and it is no good. Northridge wanted a foul on Ayanna Patterson, but Homestead leads by 9 at the end of 3. Stay tuned for the last 8 minutes.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
And now we are going to send it down to sideline reporter Nada Dahouk.
Thanks, Anthony. Last Saturday, the girls cheer team competed at their state competition, but now they're back on the sidelines cheering on the girls basketball team and keeping the fans excited about the game. Anthony?
Thank you, Nada. And those cheerleaders are having a good time. They're throwing out cheerleaders. They did well in their performance last week, the state competition for competitive cheer. Incredible job. These cheerleaders are having a good time.
Yes, they are, and they are definitely getting some recognition after getting 6th in state. Also, the band got 6th, so great week for Homestead.
Both teams doing well, performing arts, sport, however you want to call them. Get some acknowledgement here on the Homestead Live broadcast because they are part of Homestead and they do deserve the respect they deserve. Northridge to start with the ball starting in the fourth quarter. Homestead expecting to play some aggressive defense. They only have 2 fouls, quite a few to give. Same with Northridge. This last quarter is going to be all about aggressive defense.
And their defense really was not great in that last quarter. We talked about the first half, how good it was the whole time that they allow another easy 2 down low for Mantilla. She's now at 19 in this game. But it'll be interesting to see how they respond to this Northridge run.
Patterson dishes outside. Royce won the shot, didn't take it. And a foul on the pass is going to stick with Homestead. That is Northridge's 3rd foul of the second half. Julia Mantilla has put on a show in the second half. At the end of one half, she only had 5 points, 19 in this half. Allie Stevens wide open. No good. Rebounded by Royce, and it's going to be a foul on Eva Fisher, not someone who you want to foul if you're a Northridge Raider fan.
A great job right there by Emma Royce to get the easy board. And she just went up and grabbed it. Not really much aggression by this Northridge defense trying to grab a board.
Northridge has played a really good job of guarding Molly Stock and Allie Stevens from beyond the arc. Neither have had a really good shot. Allie Stevens wanted to take a shot, didn't have it. Now Molly Stock takes one from the corner. Molly Stock knocks it down. She is on fire. 4 threes made, 12 points.
And that's her first one we've seen in a while. She started out so strong as her counterpart as a defensive leader, Emma Royce, getting another big steal. And this lead is back to double digits. We'll see how this Homestead team responds to that made 3 by Stock.
How about the feistiness for Emma Royce day in, day out, every minute of every game on defense? Stock wanted to take a 3, dishes it inside to Anna Patterson. 19 points on the night.
And now her and Mantilla are tied for the most in this game. The only difference is the people who are helping them out. So we take a look here, Patterson getting it down low and getting the bucket. And right now, it's only been 2 players scoring for Northridge. Mantilla with 19 and Fisher with 17. And on the other side, Homestead has 3 players in double figures. Patterson with 19, Stevens with 13, and Stock up to 12.
Deep shot by Colleen Miller doesn't go. Homestead tries to get the ball to Patterson. It's unclean. And they're going to call it to stay with Northridge. Coach Parker can't believe it. Neither can the Homestead bench and fans and everybody in the stadium. Ball goes to Northridge.
And that was definitely one of the louder reactions we've had this year on a call by the refs. Nobody for Homestead happy with that, but Molly Stock just trying to force it down low to Patterson too much.
Heat check by Mantilla doesn't go, rebounded by Stock. Northridge wants to act now. A beautiful cross from Molly Stock. She's quick and decisive with the basketball. Maggie Kingsley over to Stevens. You can tell they're passing the ball a lot around the outside of the arc. They want to get a 3-point shot to somebody. Stock or Stevens, either or works. Deep 2 by Patterson, rattles off the back of the iron, and it's going to go with Northridge. Foul on Maggie Kingsley. They've got a chance to answer.
And a little bit surprising that was Patterson's first jump shot of this game. We saw her take a few last game against Carmel, and she even knocked down a 3-pointer and a long 2, but something that she struggled with last year and something she's trying to improve on.
Northridge has to start taking some shots. Clock is winding down for them to make a comeback. Beautiful pass outside. No good 3 for Morgan Cross. Homestead with the board. Inside to Patterson. Shot for 20 points. It's in. Ayanna Patterson with 21 on the night. Second game of the year with more than 20.
And she's matched her season average from last year. She had 24 last game. We'll see if she can eclipse that mark today.
Ball uncleanly gets outside to Fisher, doesn't go. Patterson on the fast break, over to Royce, back to Patterson. Holds on with a basketball, doesn't go in. Northridge gets possession back, trying to move quick. Looking for a shot, deep shot by Mantilla. Knocks it down. She has 22 on the night.
And she keeps on bringing this Northridge team back into the game, cutting it down to an 11-point lead. And her offensive performance in the second half is what made this game so close.
A turnover, wide open. Layup, no good, and it's going to go to Homestead. Eva Fisher missed the wide open layup. She can't believe it. A timeout taken by Homestead before Northridge can gain any more momentum.
And Coach Parker is frustrated with this defense on the last 2 plays. That one not getting back on defense, letting a wide open pass from Mantilla to Fisher, and Fisher should have connected there to cut it to a 9-point lead. And before that, Patterson just a little bit lazy, not guarding Mantilla all the way out for 3.
Northridge, all credit to them. They are keeping this game open. They were down 21 points, and they're fighting back, keeping Homestead on their toes, not letting them get tired. Coach Parker can't really believe the defensive tiredness, even from Emma Royce, a player that doesn't seem to ever run out of energy, looked tired on those last 2 possessions.
We haven't seen as much of the bench players come in this game like we have for Northridge, definitely giving the starters more breaks from the first 3 quarters so they could have them go in this 4th quarter, try to make a comeback. And Coach Parker, when Northridge was cutting it close last quarter, brought in his starters, and they've really been in since 4 minutes left in the 3rd, so 8 straight minutes now, getting a little fatigued out there.
And a little bit of a change in emotions between this game and the last game. It was all smiles between Homestead and Carmel. I mean, Homestead was running away with that game versus Carmel. They were knocking down every shot. Smiles were filling the building with players. Right now, it is all seriousness, all focus. You can see it in Ayanna Patterson's eyes.
And they've right now got some unfinished business, even though it seems like it's not that close, and Homestead seems like they've dominated this whole game. Northridge still has a chance with 4 minutes left.
Eva Fisher on the foul. She has 17 points tonight. That's her 3rd foul. Homestead's done a pretty good job of targeting the players, the heavy scorers for Northridge. All the players in the game that have points have 2 or more fouls right now. They've done a really good job of picking and choosing who they attack and try to get a foul on. Kingsley, pump fake, dishes inside to Patterson, down low. Ayanna Patterson's height is just too much to handle. 23 points for Patterson tonight. And they're going to call a jump ball as Mantilla tried to drive inside, and who was it? Emma Royce, the defender star for Homestead, and that's going to be possession, arrow pointing in the Spartans' favors.
Another great job right there by Royce, help side defense, causing the jump ball, just getting involved on defense. And we'll see if Homestead can score here. It seems like it'd be the dagger in this game.
And Molly Stock wide open 3, no good. She's been on and off tonight. 12 points for her. Northridge quick transition. Eva Kocher doesn't get it. Stevens to Stock. Those 2, the 3-point shooters for Homestead. Slowing down the play. 3 minutes to go. Ball tipped around. Taken away from Stock. Laid up and in. Colleen Miller getting the points when needed.
And on that last possession there, Emma Royce was wide open. She was yelling for the ball. Coach Parker was yelling at Kingsley to give her the ball, and they weren't able to find it, and it ended up in another Homestead turnover.
Ayanna Patterson, 25 points. She has more than she did last week. New season high for Ayanna.
And we'll see how many she averages this year. She had almost 1,300 coming into this game. She might be able to get to that 2,000 mark, but it's really going to depend on how well she plays.
And Emma Royce fighting for the basketball. It's going to call a jump ball. Stays with Northridge, but look at this by Ayanna Patterson. Drives inside, stays low, keeps her shoulders square, jumps up, lays it in. Unbelievable.
And coming out of that timeout from Coach Parker a little bit ago, you can definitely tell that the game plan is to get it down low to Patterson, and she's done really well when she's got it down there.
How about that defense as well from Ayanna Patterson? Hands high, forcing a turnover. Once again, the key word of the game. That is Northridge's 15th turnover, that one forced by Patterson. Patterson on the right wing, calling out a play. Stevens, open 3. No good. It's going to be rebounded by Northridge. Fouled on the rebound by Emma Royce.
And that's only her 2nd foul. Kind of surprising with how aggressive she is, but that just shows how good of a defender she is to only have 2 fouls and have probably more steals than that.
Allie Stevens has attempted 7 3-pointers tonight, only made 2. A little bit different of a story from the game versus Carmel last week.
And she started out with 2 straight makes, and then she was a little bit cold, made the 3 going into half, which gave this team a lot of momentum. But it's been more of Molly Stock with the better shooting percentage from 3 tonight. She's made 4 tonight, and just a little bit of role reversal for the 2 junior duos.
Molly Stock, she is so good from beyond the arc. Last year, shot 44%. This year, looking to replicate that. At this point, she's already above 50%. Even Allie Stevens just below 50% after tonight. And it looks like Homestead is going to send their starters back on the court, play their starters until the final minute. They only lead by 13.
And Stevens and Stock are really great compliments to Patterson with her game down low. They help spread the floor. Royce also a great three-point shooter. And we haven't really seen Kingsley have too much action down low this year. She's got 2 points tonight, and in game ago, she only had 4. But she'll definitely get involved and have a breakout game this season.
Maggie Kingsley's role on the offense seems to just be the screen setter, left and right, screen after screen, getting Patterson open underneath the basket and Stock and Stevens open from beyond the arc. Northridge to inbound, down 13, 2 minutes to play and under. Have to play efficient. Look at this defense trading on and off. Inside, dished out, awkward pass. Colleen Miller goes in and gets 2 points. Northridge not out of it yet, and they don't want to be. Homestead's going to try to slow down the pace, most likely. Pass the ball around quite a lot. Northridge, if you want to stay in this game, you've got to start thinking about fouling.
And right there, we just saw Molly Stock with a wide open 3. Usually she would take that, but with no shot clock in Indiana, Coach Parker probably has told him to run it down.
Dagger step inside by Anna Patterson. No good on the jump shot, something she's been trying to work on. 0 for 2 for it tonight. Colleen Miller, three-pointer, no good. Open rebound for Northridge. Layup, no good. And there we go. The shots go for Northridge, and Julia Mantilla bringing her total up to 24 points.
She really had a slow start tonight, not scoring too many in that first half, but the third quarter she got going, and now this fourth quarter she's also playing really well. It's only a 9-point game now, and after they cut it down to 11, Northridge didn't elect to press. We'll likely see that now. We saw Homestead against the press struggle a little bit last week when Carmel ran it against them, but they had it going throughout the whole game.
Julia Mantilla and Eva Fisher have had phenomenal games for Northridge tonight. 24 points for Mantilla, 17 for Fisher. In the first half, it was all Fisher. It was all Eva Fisher getting all the points. Second half, script flipped. Mantilla took over the offense. She has 19 points just alone in this second half. The story's been all about her.
And the problem for Northridge has been nobody else other than those two has really stepped up. We've got Colleen Miller, who has 6 points, but those 3, other than them, there's only been 5 points scored as we see Northridge come out with no press. A little bit shocking that they aren't going to.
Carmel disrupted Homestead with the press last week. They were able to figure out the Carmel press. Northridge hasn't pressed at all this game. All starters still on the court for Homestead. And Patterson's going to be fouled. 6th foul on Northridge. That's going to send Patterson to the line for a 1-and-1. Correction. It's not going to send Patterson to the line. Maggie Kingsley's going to inbound. Northridge, that was their last foul to give. The next one will start the bonus for the Spartans. Stock on the outside, not the person who wanted to foul from the free throw line. Maggie Kingsley might be the best bet. The refs, long whistle, don't call it. Allie Stevens holding onto the basketball. Homestead's running out the clock, and a timeout taken by Coach Parker. Homestead didn't really know what they were doing, just passing the ball around, trying to take down some clock.
And it's definitely not going to kill them in a scenario like this. They've cut it down to 41 seconds as Coach Parker called the timeout. A little bit confusion of what they were doing, but either way, there's less time for Northridge to score 9 points. It's really unlikely that they will in 41 seconds.
It will take a miracle for Northridge to get in this game and try to win it down 9 points, 41 seconds. The time just certainly isn't there. But honestly, if there were 3 more minutes left on the clock, you could really make the case for Northridge winning this game with the way that they've turned it on. They've kept Homestead in this game. They've kept them on their toes. And now they're here, only down 9 in the final minute of the game.
And especially recently in this last minute, they've cut it down to that 9-point margin. Mantilla getting some easy points down low. And they've got a lot of momentum, just not enough time.
And they're going to foul Patterson, send her to the line for a 1-and-1. Homestead looking to extend their lead to 10 points. This hasn't been the best night for Homestead offensively. A great job defensively, but 18 turnovers on offense, forcing 15. They lost that battle, the turnover battle, yet somehow they still managed to lead.
And right now, Patterson going back to the line. She's made 3 out of 4 tonight, and this is the first time we've seen her go there since the first quarter.
No good on the first free throw. Northridge, they have to move quick. Moving down the court. Mantilla doesn't take a shot. She's got to take one soon. Getting yelled at from the parents in the stands to take a shot. Colleen Miller drives inside, dishes it out, and they're going to call a foul on the ground on Molly Stock with 23 seconds left. A little bit redundant with just a little bit of time left.
And something that we've seen throughout the night, it's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's a play that they're trying to run, but Northridge has been running to the baseline and then throwing it out to the corner. And it's worked at times, but an interesting tactic.
Timeout taken by Northridge on the 2 by Mantilla. The lead is only 7 for the Spartans, but at this point it is just about wasting the time for Homestead and closing out this game, getting out with a win.
And they definitely left off too much time on that last possession. Northridge did. Mantilla was just dribbling around too much and holding it for a little too long. And now Homestead's going to look to get it in the hands of either Stevens or Stock. 2 great free throw shooters, 2 people you want at the line.
Also get in the hand of Emma Royce. Both of them, all 3 great shooters. Northridge ideally would like to foul Maggie Kingsley, the worst three-point shooter on the floor for the Spartans. And of course, Ayanna Patterson as well, but she's shot the ball well so far this year.
And now Evie Bottoms comes in for Allie Stevens. Likely a free throw situation, why Coach Parker is bringing them in.
And the ball unable to be inbounded to Molly Stock. Stays with Homestead. The pass was off of the 6'3" forward freshman, Kaylee DeHaven.
And right there, Northridge putting their tallest player on the inbounder, trying to disrupt anything that they can.
Pass stolen on the inbound. Northridge still alive. Long three-point taken. No good for Northridge. 10 seconds left. They have to take a shot. Mantilla dribbling around, wasting time. Eva Fisher for 3. No good. Rebounded by Bottoms, and she's fouled with just 4 seconds left. Heading to the line, and it is going to be a Spartan victory.
Some great looks right there for Northridge. Fisher getting a wide open 3, along with Miller getting an open 3. Unable to connect on either of them. But even if they did, it would have been interesting to see if they would have had enough time.
Evie Bottoms heading to the line for the first time this year. She had 6 points last week. As Colleen Miller comes out of the game, gets some handshakes, gets a round of applause. She played a fantastic and physical game as the first free throw goes down for Evie Bottoms. Bottoms, the 6th man for the Spartans, knocks down the next shot. 9-point lead for Homestead as the clock's ticking down. Heaving shot by Eva Fisher, and that is the end of the game. Homestead wins 63-54.
Great job by this Homestead team to close it out. At times they looked a little shaky. It looked like they might let this Northridge Raiders basketball team get back in it, especially after leading by 21 points in the third quarter and then having the lead cut down all the way to 9. But overall, a great job by this team.
You see some mutual respect between the 2 teams, giving handshakes after both teams played feisty. They played well, and they played an incredible game. A lot of handshakes between Ayanna Patterson and company. We're going to send it down to sideline reporter Jenna Lane, who's standing by with Ayanna Patterson.
Thanks, Anthony. I'm here with senior Ayanna Patterson. And Ayanna, quite a big day for you as you signed to play college basketball at UConn. So how satisfying is it to be able to sign and focus now on your last year at high school?
It feels great. I mean, just being able to focus on my senior year now and finish strong and, focus on my goals and focus on my team's goals feels great.
And tonight's another big game for you as you had another double-double tonight. Can you talk about your play this evening?
Oh, I feel like it fluctuated, but I feel like it got better towards the end. So, I mean, all in all, we got through with a win, and it feels great.
You guys were able to pull away after Northridge cut your big lead down to 7 points. Is it good to face a little adversity early in the season?
It's normal to face adversity. I mean, you're coming into your first season, the first 2 games of the season, and I mean, it's difficult to play on a Tuesday night. You don't get the same crowd, and I mean, you just got to come out with a bunch of energy, and it kind of went up and down, but we got through it.
And next game starts SAC play as you head to Wayne. What's the goal for conference play this year?
I was definitely to become SAC champs, get back on that right track. I mean, losing it last year, it hurts. It's a fire that's burning inside. So, I mean, coming through, we have to win this year.
All right, thank you so much. Anthony, back to you.
The fire burning inside, as Ayanna Patterson says, after not being SAT champions last week. Ayanna Patterson, you can tell that fire is burning inside. She plays with a lot of fire. 25 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for Patterson tonight. Incredible performance.
Another great game for her. She had 14 in the second half. After not having a great second quarter, she only had 2 there. Started out really well, and overall, another great game for her.
Patterson showing up, company, Stock, Stevens, and others making a lot of points, co-oping with Patterson for an incredible game. In Homestead, final score 54-63. Staying around for us to close it out. Welcome back to Spartan Arena at the conclusion of Homestead versus Northridge. Northridge, all credit to them. They gave Homestead a run for their money in the final minutes of the game, never leaving the game, playing feisty, playing aggressive till the last second.
Yeah, it was kind of similar to the game last year, where it was only a 5-point victory for Homestead. After the first 3 matchups, Homestead had blown them out, but these last 2 have been a little bit closer for Northridge, starting to figure out this Homestead Spartan team.
Northridge is not a team you can count out. They're not a school you can count out. A smaller school up in northern Indiana, but man, they play basketball well. They play it the right way. They play feisty. They play really well on defense, forcing 18 turnovers on Homestead, out-turnovering Homestead by 3. This game was really all about turnovers. It can't really be said anything else. But great job by Northridge and great job by Homestead.
Yeah, both coaches definitely know what they need to work on. Some high-pressure situations, double-digit turnovers for both these teams going into the first half, at the end of the first half, but definitely need to work on that.
And with that, we're going to close out today's live stream. Thank you for watching the game tonight. The final score, 63-54. On behalf of the Homestead Live crew, including producer Caleb Wood, switcher Trevor Newhouse, our 4 camera operators, silent reporters Jenna Lane and Nada Dahouk, and color commentator Noah Lancz. I'm Anthony Gery signing off. Catch us Saturday, November 20th for the next Homestead Live broadcast when Homestead plays Noblesville.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.